everybody, welcome to Ageless with Adrianne. I'm Adrianne Caparuso. Today I want to talk to you about form. I'm going to show you one of the most basic movements that we should be using on an everyday basis, but how it's often not done correctly, which can lead to injury. It's called a hip hinge. And so a lot of times when people are doing things like, for instance, let's say brushing their teeth, they'll lean over the sink like this, right? The hip hinge would have them leaning at their hips, which would give their back greater support. But it's often done incorrectly because people are still rounding their shoulders, rounding their backs. And the hip hinge really has you hinging at your hips as if somebody karate chopped you and bending forward to do things, and that supports your back and is better posturally. So I'm going to show you how to check for your hip hinge and how to do it correctly. You're going to need a broom or a dowel, a Swiffer, something of that nature that you can lay along your back, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So forgive me as I turn my back to you. You're going to put one hand here like this, and you're going to put it by your back. So I'm going to actually do that with my left hand. So my left hand is going to grip it facing this way. And I'm going to rest it along my back so my elbow is up, right? And my right hand is going to hold it down here against my booty. And so this is how you check for a hip hinge. You bend over and you can see that the broom is not being lifted from my body because my back is flat and I'm hinging at my hips. Now my hair bun is getting in the way of it a bit, but in general, it's not lifting from my body. So what I sometimes see when I do this with people is this, because their back is rounding and you can see that the broom has lifted off of my body. When it's a proper hip hinge, it stays, you can see it's still touching my body with the proper hip hinge. When the back gets rounded, it goes up and I can't get it down, right? So that is not proper. And this is one way you can see how you're bending. And again, this is to support your back and for you to have proper alignment, spinal alignment. So when you think about it, think about someone literally like karate chopping you in your hips, boom, and you're just gonna bend, right? But you're not going to round. If you're hinging at your hips and bending at your hips, you really can't round your back. It's difficult. When someone's chopping you here, you would simply pivot forward. So when you're brushing your teeth, lean at your hips, not at your back. Don't let your back do the work. You're going to cause issues for yourself posturally. You're going to have back pain. You want to hip hinge here, brush your teeth this way, or wash your hands. It depends how low your sink is, wash your hands, or even picking something up off the floor, you do the hip hinge and then bend the knees. This will allow for, again, that back to stay supported. So this is kind of Form 101. It's a very important movement to get down so that you know how to do it. And it's something you can practice too. You just simply, and if you need the dowel or the broom, stick it behind you and practice that. Now again, my hair bun is getting in the way for my neck alignment with the broom. But in general, when I do this, the broom is not lifting from my body. So this is something I want you to practice because, again, a very important movement, Form 101, get this movement down and it will help with so many of the other exercises that I'm going to show you proper form on. So start with this one and we'll progress from there.